Hey everyone, if there's one kind of place or shop that's the best kind of dirty rag used by pranks or people to record their stuff at, it has to be Walmart. And to be fair, with the massive space they have in those huge stores and the few numbers of obese employees in the mobility scooters, it really is the best equivalent of a huge film studio for people to record anything at. Like the little funny Zoomer TikTok videos, whoa! I've talked a lot about annoying TikTok pranks, but I don't care. It's one of those things where if you do something positive, no matter what, after maybe 5 or 6 times, it'll become neutral to you. But if you watch the same annoying genre over and over and over, it'll only make your hate for it just grow bigger. And that made me realize the lowest form of pranks you can do is at a store or a fast food place, because that really is the one kind of person that can't do shit against you. If you're just some random person out in public, you probably won't get the results you want, or even end up on a street fight Twitter account. But if you go to a store, then you can poke the bear with a stick as much as you want because they don't want to lose their jobs. And that's the same scenario for this TikTok right here today. And I know it looks horrendous, the worst possible quality I could find, but trust me, it won't make a difference if it was in 1080p, because the quality of the actual TikTok wouldn't improve.
What are you doing? What's wrong with you? Oh, it's cool.
Oh, there's so much that pisses me off about this video. Also, I realized the first thing I want to get off my chest, I should realize you can see the floor just caked in soap, right? Specifically doing this in an aisle full of soap. So I think they legitimately just opened the bottle, threw it over the floor, and then recorded the TikTok. Which, if with those people, do you really believe, they had the dignity to stop the video and actually pay for the damage they did, both the products and, the actual stain on the floor? I don't think they did. Oh. That's what you call. Did they prepare themselves perfectly to look as dumb as possible? I mean, you have the two guys just left and right, on the outside, wearing tank tops, very New Year, I guess, somewhat close to summer, but not yet. Which I guess makes the guy in the center the ringleader of the, this great TikTok pranks. But even his clothes piss me off, the somewhat ripped jeans, even though there might be soap, and his cut off V shirt. Whenever I see those kinds of shirt, I always think of that Nathan For You episode where he tries to look as dumb as possible, but everyone around him is so awkward, they try to boost his confidence, even though he looks retarded.
Too low. The VDEC is just too low.
Why didn't you speak up before? I asked before I went in if this was good.
I didn't know it was gonna be that low, man.
I really don't want to make fun of his manager right here in this still frame, but he looks like such a genuine person that's just trying to do their job and go home and put food on the table, but he's got Zoomers like this in his store, making his work life a living hell. I feel so bad for him. Most managers I've seen are a Walmart video with some fat guy with 911 on his speed dial about to call the police because they're so sick and tired of their work. They don't care about being civil. They can just call the police and get them to kick them out of the store. But I think with him, he was so dumbfounded, I don't blame him, that he had nothing else to say than what are you doing? Which that's a very honest answer. He's probably one of those people that doesn't understand how brain rotting TikTok is, which doesn't make a difference because I feel people that store this as well, unironically, probably don't find it funny either. Unless this guy's entire fan base is just 12-year-olds, they find it kind of stuff funny, oh my god, he put the soap and then the water slide, whatever you call it, the water slide on the floor and he tried to slide on it, and then the old tried to stop him. Oh my god, great content, I like. And honestly, that belief of mine purely comes from the last part of the video where he said, it's cool, it's for TikTok. Well, legitimately, I believe he saw unironically that would be a good defense to let him get away scot-free or just let him record a TikTok by the end. Unfortunately, it didn't because that's where the video ends, and from that interaction, I don't believe they shook hands, exchanged hugs, and agreed that it was a misunderstanding, sadly. And you know what, even though I talk about those 3 guys, the guy in the V shirt and Twiddle D and Twiddle Dum, which was left and right, it's not really just themselves that do these videos on TikTok. They're more so a tiny bacteria cell in the huge stain that is on TikTok. And you can tell it's a pretty big stain when you have people like that doing pranks and doing mitosis where their own little fans see that and they try to replicate by going to their own Walmart, just repeating the process over and over. And when TikTok has been out for quite a while, about 4 years now. How long has it been out actually? 8 years, oh my god. When TikTok has been out for 8 years, you believe in the first 2 years, that kind of content will be popular for a little bit, but then fast forward to today and it'll be gone, but it still isn't. But you know what, when videos like that are so common and have been made for so long, you can somewhat understand with the argument that TikTok it should be banned. I'm not saying it should because I have a brain and I know there was way better content out on that app, and it's only very rarely that you have small specks of shit splattered on your For You page. But if you had a kid and that was the only stuff you enjoyed, it would be the app, tube feeding a fat pig or the worst content possible. And you could say, oh, the parents should be more careful with what the kids watch, but let's be honest, with how many kids nowadays have tablets and also TikTok as well installed on them, it's fucking possible to know what they're watching every time and try to constrict bad stuff, that might affect them negatively. Cringy pranks like this have always been, very common on the internet since like the beginning, since people could share like MP4s online. But I feel like, if there's one gold mine, that you can find like shit like that just quickly, it would be TikTok. Am I saying that 1 billion accounts in the US should be destroyed with TikTok getting banned? No, not really. But if you saw the video, it would be hard to argue against it and say like it's not brain rotting. Unless you actually like the video, which I guess I'm happy for you for showing you like a new creator that you never heard of, but now you love him. Well, in that case, enjoy those horrible pranks on TikTok, be an idiot, have fun.